Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're talking about Star Trek Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 12, our first Borg episode of Prodigy. The episode was entitled Let Sleeping Borg Lie. In this episode we had the crew of the Protostar infiltrating a Borg cube, which was, I thought, quite an exciting introduction to our viewers of Prodigy who might not have come across the Borg before. Certainly, as always with this show, stunning visuals. I don't think the inside of a Borg cube has ever looked so impressive as it has in this episode of Prodigy. We saw obviously a multitude of different drones of different species. The interior was cavernous, technology all over the place. It was, we got some good Borg cube interior stuff in the first season of Star Trek Picard, but I think Prodigy has just knocked it out of the park in terms of visualizing, the interior of a Borg cube. And in this video, we're going to talk all about that episode and, all the little things we noticed and saw and so forth. We're bouncing back and forth a bit now between the Prodigy crew and the Dauntless crew, which makes things a bit more interesting. And it's certainly interesting to see how the show is progressing. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please don't forget to do so. Click on that big red button to stay up to date and current with the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. Also, big news, guys, before we get into the review for this week's episode, 20% off in the merch store at the moment. Rarely ever happens. It's generally the highest discount that the merch store ever goes to, 20% off. So I've got so many designs in the merch store recently. Be sure to check that out and pick yourself up a bargain at 20% off while it lasts until this weekend. We started off with the holodeck replay of the Diviner talking to Gwyn about the virus that's going to infiltrate all of the Federation starships and whatnot, and how that all works. I'm not quite sure how they managed to get a holodeck recording of this. It's sort of like, okay, I get that what they're doing from a storytelling point of view in terms of having them replay this moment for the benefit of the rest of the crew, but how did they actually get this recording? It was not like somebody was out there with a holo imager or whatever whilst Gwyn was having this conversation with her father. So it's sort of like, hang on, how did they get this in the holodeck? That didn't seem quite plausible to me. But anyway, we suspend our disbelief and we move on. And after they finish the holodeck replay of this moment, we obviously start searching for the virus that is been installed in the ship. And we manage to find that, which looks like it has a kind of a key that Gwyn is able to unlock using her little programmable matter bracelet sword thingy. I'm not sure it has a name, or if it does, I don't remember the name of it, but yes, obviously she's able to make a key, unlock this panel that opens up underneath the bridge to reveal this subdeck, where we see this, what they call a living construct kind of virus. I don't know about you guys, but the virus did remind me quite considerably of the artificial intelligence life forms we saw at the end of Season 1 of Picard, about to come through the portal or whatever to wipe out all of biological life or whatever. So it's sort of that sort of metallic red and black kind of centipede kind of looking technology. So I'm not sure whether that's just pure accident, that the styling of this this virus or this living construct looks really similar to the big bad that they were, threatened against on this, whatever it was, a parallel universe or whatever, that this, artificial intelligence, cybernetic, technology was going to, come through and wipe out all biological life or something. Probably a complete coincidence. I just thought the design for it looked quite similar to that. And next we get the Borg cube arriving, which is kind of inert. It's not doing anything. It's sort of in sleep mode, but it gives our heroes a chance to investigate what is going on with this Borg cube. I love the look and design of the interior. Obviously, externally it looks the same as most other Borg cubes. cubes we've seen before in Star Trek. But I think the internal space was done really, really well. The visuals in Prodigy are always top-notch, and I think they really went above and beyond to really capture that sort of ominous look and feel we've seen before in Borg cubes, but never quite as gloriously, I think, as we saw it in this episode. And we get a bit of a change of location here where we go and see what Admiral Janeway is doing on board the Dauntless. We've got her ordering tea rather than coffee. Apparently, Dr. Newham, the Tellarite doctor, has maybe said you got to cut back on the caffeine, so she's drinking tea instead of coffee, which I don't think Admiral Janeway is too happy about at all. And we see the Diviner obviously in sickbay there, and he's unconscious, he's out of it, and they're obviously trying to get some answers as to what's happened to him. And in the course of investigating the Borg cube, they're trying to find an answer to how they can perhaps get rid of or eradicate the Diviner's virus that these planted on board the ship. They obviously wake up all the Borg drones and everything, and we have a bit of, obviously one of them has to link with the collective in order to retrieve the information they require, and that person obviously becomes Zero because we figure he's been part of a collective before as part of being a Medusan. Obviously the least being a gaseous vapor entity is probably the least likely one to be assimilated. Doesn't necessarily go down that way because obviously he is swayed by the collective for a short period of time before coming around again. Our heroes end up kind of fighting off Borg and returning to the ship, and we get to learn a little bit more information about this living construct of virus that the Diviner has planted. It can't be removed and can't be deactivated for some reason, that it's embedded into the technology of the ship. I don't know how they're going to get around this technology. They're going to have to use some pretty creative means, I think, but in its present state, it seems like that our heroes are going to have to maybe put a little bit of distance between them and other Starfleet vessels and ships, because as Janeway and the rest of the Dauntless crew finds out towards the end of this episode, the Federation comm relay array didn't fare so well coming up against them. It was pretty much completely wiped out, virus infecting it, and obviously it completely turning on itself and blowing itself to bits. So yeah, just at the end of this episode, we also get the Diviner coming back to consciousness again. He's no longer in a coma or unconscious, but yeah, I think he's going to put a big con over on the Dauntless crew and, play the victim and, do whatever he can to get what he wants. But surely you'd think there'd be some sort of residual effect from Zero's exposure. He's not just going to wake up and be completely coherent again. I'm guessing he's going to be a bit Gollum-esque or something, a little bit mentally disturbed, probably talking in riddles and, not particularly making complete coherent sense. So I wonder whether, yes, Dr. Newham was going to have his work cut out for him to restore the Diviner's mental state. All in all, I thought this was a good episode. Great to see the Borg in Prodigy. I said love the production design and the enormity and the grandeur of the Borg cube. We had an interesting story with Zero in the collective and the heroes learning a bit about how to fight up against Borg drones and obviously phasers only work a few times before they adapt and having to resort to hand-to-hand combat and things like that. So yeah, it was a cool episode. I thought it was quite interesting. The show's really working to its benefit now that we're not only focusing on the Protostar crew, but also the Dauntless crew as well, and then we're getting a little bit of cutting back and forth between what those two crews are up to, which I think makes the show more interesting. Guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section about this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and remember 20% off in my merch store until the end of the weekend, so be sure to pick yourself up a huge bargain. Plenty of great designs in there, and it really helps support the channel as well, and you're getting yourself an awesome bargain. I'll be back very soon with my next video. I'll catch you guys soon.